This is Investment Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Daily live streaming interactive. Featuring Mrs. Backup. Subscribe, hit the notification, smash the likes. Now, here's Backup Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to Investment Perspectives, everybody. I'm Brad Kimes. You can follow me at Backup Bradley on Twitter. Let's go ahead and get into this. There's a seismic shift of news that has just come in between late yesterday and this morning, and I just want to go over it as an overview because I know so many of you know this space so well that this is just a quick brush up on the kind of articles that have made their way to the public. So let's take a look at this. ECB responds to SWIFT's blueprint for ISO 20022. SWIFT has said they are going to push back a year on the adoption of the ISO 20022. So let's talk about this for a second. I did open the article and read the article, and here it is right here. It's interesting because the ECB pushes back in this, as well as Marcus Treacher is heavily in this article. And basically, what they're saying is that even though SWIFT is making an argument that because of the pandemic and the other banks that have been impacted, as well as SWIFT, that they need more time to be able to get ready for the changeover into that system. However, the argument is made in the article about how the banks that have gone through the process of changing over and getting themselves in the ISO 20022 system is impacting them. And Marcus Treacher makes a fantastic litany of points in the article about how they should switch over regardless because of the fact that so many institutions have gone out of their way to make this happen. I'm not going to read this whole article to you, but you will be able to read it on my Twitter. Here's just one clip of Marcus Treacher, Senior VP Customer Success at Ripple, echoes this concern and states that the delay will hurt thousands of financial institutions who are ready to migrate and already migrating to the ISO 20022 standard. So, and then it goes on and on and on. So what I would suggest there is that at the end, it says clearly, basically, we await feedback from industry players as to the level of their engagement with SWIFT regarding the preparation of usage guidelines, and the guidelines release earmarks for the beginning of July 2020. So there's going to be another moment we're going to want to pay attention to see what the response is from that community on how quickly or maybe not quickly they are going to switch over to that system. Now, let's just keep this going. Michelle Bond congratulates Brian Brooks, formerly of Coinbase. We talked about Brian Brooks quite heavily here. His vision is much like the early days of the internet for getting the regulation just right with a light touch approach. And he has recently even gone as far as to say we need a more national approach so we can, for crypto and digital assets, so we can stop this state by state business and the delay of implementing and adopting cryptocurrencies. Shout out to him and shout out to Michelle Bond as well. Here's another piece of good news from XRP Crypto Wolf. Shopify integrates crypto gateway Coin Payments Net to accept cryptocurrency payments for online merchants. Check this out. The new move is designed to leverage cryptocurrencies like XRP, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, Tron, and Bitcoin to reduce legacy transaction fees. Pretty fantastic. Pretty sure we've all heard of Shopify. Why Cambodia is eager to launch its own DLT-based digital currency. Nice. Cambodia's central bank is set to go live with a new digital currency system. The new system was built using Hyperledger, which, by the way, is interoperable with Interledger Protocol. Yeah, don't believe it, it's still true. Okay, positive stuff for the whole space. For me, anyway, I like seeing a bunch of winners, not just one. Sign of a healthy space. All right, here we go again. France is the first nation to successfully test a digital euro with blockchain. It has potential to strengthen the global financial markets. France's central bank will explore how the digital euro performs when sent from one bank to another in the next weeks. I don't know about you, but this is where, when we report on things, I tend to say, and I've said this about the digital dollar, you said, oh, we're about to begin trials and we released a white paper on the digital dollar. You know, where I sit, it's done. This is done and it's been done. And I believe all of these things are about revealing to the public what they're doing. I do not believe for a second that France or the euro or the digital dollar is going to be rolled out in a test fashion where the world can watch it crash and burn or succeed and not know the outcome. I just don't believe that that's how successful entities approach the matter. I believe that they already know what the outcome is, and this is how they begin to roll it out to the rest of the world. We shall see. Exciting stuff nonetheless. A bill before Congress asked the Federal Trade Commission and Secretary of Commerce to do a massive survey on the state of blockchain adoption and rank the U.S.'s adoption to other nations. The bill looks to determination of the role of federal agencies. We need to take a look at this, they say. We need to figure out who gets to play in what area of the sandbox and who gets to control and regulate what area of the sandbox. This is absolutely positive. There are an enormous amount of layers of regulation, especially in the United States. There needs to be clear boundaries for which regulatory regime oversees what aspect of blockchain and digital assets. We know that from the Token Taxonomy Act and other bills that have been submitted in that regard as well. Very good stuff happening all the time. Again, as a retail investor and speculator, we don't always know what's happening behind the scenes, but it's articles like this that can make you realize the depth of what has been actually taking place without our knowledge. Okay. U.S. Congress bill wants federal government to consider national blockchain strategy. It has a state level blockchain adoption, business blockchain adoption, blockchain development plans, and legislative framework consolidate prohibitive federal statutes. Now, again, we're going to have to keep an eye on all of this, but there's a lot of forward motion happening for blockchain and digital assets. We just got to pay attention. Peter Vass, shout out to you and shout out to XRP Crypto for that news. Interviews CO2 footprint of Ripple XRP 10 million times lower than Bitcoin's. Now, I can tell you, in a going green world, trying to lessen the carbon footprint, this is a big deal, and that talking point is only going to get louder. Again, from Peter Vass, one of the Ripple's largest investments announces 4 initiatives to boost XRP crypto and blockchain. Decentralized web content monetization platform Coil is rolling out 4 initiatives to help fast-track the adoption of cryptocurrency. Now, we heard yesterday that Coil is obviously working in conjunction with WordPress and Uphold, and I'm sure there's going to be tons and tons. This is just the beginning for Coil of what they've been connecting to back end and about rolling that out publicly. You can't have the internet of value if you don't have micropayments. Okay, keep it going here. This was really great. When asking about the banking industry's concern regarding the delay, Marcus Treacher said it will hurt thousands of institutions. That is from the article that we covered. Shout out to Arturo Portilla, who has been putting out mad content. Just loving when he posts something. Shout out to him. Chainsaw Jackson, Ripple, third most largest cryptocurrency, gets approval from the U.S. money transfers. Everyone will use XRP. Not exactly breaking news here, but we love hearing it. So let's take a look at this article a little bit here. Okay, so Ripple, third largest valuable cryptocurrency, gets approval from U.S. for money transfers. Ripple, third most widely used crypto asset behind Bitcoin and Ethereum, has gotten the attention of the world's biggest economy for remittances. Ripple, the third most widely used crypto, is currently trading at 20 cents and 8.9 billion on a daily trade volume, 1.9 billion according to data obtained from Coin Marketplace. America's Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has given Ripple approval for its use of money cross-border transfers. Now, we covered this heavily over the last couple days. I just want to give you the reminder that with what we just saw from XRP Crypto Wolf talking about the legislative side of things, and we know what the Regulatory Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has said. Is anybody else making connections? Is anybody else seeing the dots connect and things becoming a little more clear? I mean, does it feel like it's taking forever? You better believe it does. It absolutely does. But you know what? It's going the right way, not the wrong way, and that makes me happy. Here again, we see reinforcement from Ashish Burla. Shout out to him and Stuart Alderati, who have really, Stuart Alderati is where I first saw the information about the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. But shout out to Ashish Burla for backing up that information. And then here we see Societe Generale performs the first financial transaction settled with a crypto central bank digital currency. This test transaction carried out with the Banque de France in a new step in scaling up digital transformation. Now, we touched on that earlier here too, but this is happening. It's no longer, I think we all knew it was never going to be an if but a when, but it is actually happening. Now let's take a turn to the regular market. U.S. 10-year Treasury note is at 0.6%. Cryptopolis, shout out to Cryptopolis, co-host here on Fridays. Keep this tweet and screenshot, burn it into your memory. When the 10-year touches 0.25%, which it will, the Fed will lower their short-term overnight rate to minus 0.25. It will be the start of negative rates in the United States. Then he says, by the way, this may be a sign. Digital asset buy to digital asset investor. Shout out to him too. I just simply said, remember, I said to get a hard hat because it's going to get rough. We'll get the one with a chin strap. Because I'm going to tell you something. One of the big mistakes you could make in this space, following the digital asset space, if you think that the digital asset space does not follow in parallel with what's taking place in the traditional economy, you're kidding yourself. There's no question about it. It is an obligation, at least from where I sit, to pay attention to the current economy and the things that are happening in the traditional markets because they absolutely correlates to the success of the digital assets. Okay, here's another one from Michael Val 5 Links, great researcher in the community. Experts in China, South Korea believe that China's digital yuan will likely be interoperable with e-pay solutions like WeChat. Do you know how big WeChat is in the Asian market? Oh my goodness. And Alibaba operated Alipay, which is enormous as well as a number of digital platforms used by major banks. I tell you what, it just keeps going. This just somehow, as much as we cover this, I can't help but feel like this just keeps getting bigger. XRP is now available on Shapeshift, another exchange, and this is courtesy of Brave New Coin here, and that is exciting. We'll take it. We will take it. Now, here's another one that points to the traditional markets and what's shifting here. Senate passes a bill to delist Chinese company from exchanges. Now, that is interesting. Like I said, pay attention to the traditional markets and the things that are taking place. All right, now here's one positive little post from Crypto Bull, a long-term fractal look at what XRP has the potential to do using the Fibonacci extensions. Let's just take a look at their chart. And we have to keep an eye on it because there's times. No one's saying it's happening. But you know what? Let's just keep an eye on what's happening. Looking at the past, right? The bull run here that happened. And now looking and coming to currently today. And the projections going into June 8th are calling for a plus $2 push on XRP. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see what, if anything, yields. And then a possible pullback to somewhere around 80 cents, just below $1. Boy, I bet there'll be a lot of people parachuting out of the plane if that does happen, right? Then another potential push here in July that could take us to 12, maybe $13, right? And then a pullback, it looks like, in the area of $4. And then it's looking ahead into March of next year and suggesting we'd be over $100. Wow. I got to tell you, that's pretty inspiring. But we don't know if that's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, I like knowing that this is here and we can kind of keep an eye on it and we can pay attention as the timelines hit and find out whether or not it holds true or not. And if this does, maybe it becomes a reference point for us as we move forward on what the potential may or may not be. But anyway, I thought I'd share that with everyone just because it's fun. So shout out to Crypto Bull for sharing that with everybody. And Emi Yoshikawa, thank you for this post. 85% of respondents already using blockchain see power in pairing with digital assets. See, blockchain technology rolls out, then they see the benefit of bringing in the digital asset as a complement, as a, to the blockchain adoption. Absolutely amazing stuff. So here's another reinforcement that I really enjoyed from Prison Mike. He's talking about the bond market dropping as well. And I tell you something, I really believe, say it with me, tokenize the bond market, tokenize the bond market. It's the only way to restore confidence in this broken system is to get it digitized and tokenized and then restore the confidence in this system so we can all watch the bond market turn around and actually become a reinforcement to the new financial system instead of a detriment as it is quickly becoming. So, all right, keep an eye on that. And shout out to Cardano. The development company will be joining Hyperledger Project and the W3C, focusing on enterprise use cases as a part of its bid for the next 5 years. So shout out to Charles Hoskinson's and all the work that's been done there. This was a nice quote from Andres Lundberg, and we'll finish it up right here. This is from Bob Way some time ago, talking about, for example, DTCC serves as a custodian and helps clear stock transactions. Arthur and his team, referencing Arthur Brito, and his team realized that there isn't good hardware support to help these custodians manage and support cryptocurrencies, especially XRP transactions. Basically, every time you hear exchange got hacked and lost Y crypto, it says you should think they should be using Arthur and David's new system. Poli-sci. And with that, I leave you, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of really great news going on today. Oh, and don't forget, shout out to Rob Cash. How can I forget this? Shout out to Rob Cash. VeChain adoption in Chinese Walmart ramps up. Come on in. Yeah. I love hearing about it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. You like the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget, 12 p.m. Eastern today, we're going to drill down into some of this information and go a little further on this and any other news that comes out between now and then. So make sure this is Crypto. Head on a swivel. We'll see you at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Take care.